is up, YouTube family? Welcome to the Mind of Mahealani, where we feel, we observe, we reflect, and we discern with intentions to embody the most clarity as possible. I am Mahealani here at your service to bring you whatever it is you might need. This is episode 1, y'all, and I'm excited to be here. I am doing this first episode raw with no outline, no specific topic, literally just here showing up, not for views, not for numbers, not for none of that shit. I've literally been off of social media for a long time now. I've had platforms on TikTok, Instagram, Bigo, and I've made a hell of a ton of money on social media, and honestly it's never been worth my mental health, and so I've always chosen myself over social media. And I feel excited to be on YouTube because I honestly feel like this is a space where I can be real, I can be raw, I can give out long form content and have the listener choose if they want to engage. My intention with this platform in general is to be as personable, non-performative, raw, real as possible. I want it to almost feel like we're talking on the phone, and just having builds like I would with my close friends or with my man or whatever the case, because that's what we're really here to do for each other, build with each other on concepts and life and situations, experiences. There's so much that goes on in life, especially in 2025. You guys, there's so much going on in the world, and it's so important to unpack the things that we're experiencing, witnessing, etc. And when I say unpack, I don't mean try to get to the nitty-gritty and the roots of everything, because that can be overwhelming. What I mean by unpack is to just understand how you relate to whatever it is you're coming into contact with in your life. Because nothing is happening in your life that's not for you. And so long as we're passive with everything we experience, we're not extracting the value or as much value as we can. And why waste it, And so here in this space, I want us to be able to do so. I want to make that normal. I want to make it safe. Like I said, to feel the things that you feel. To observe, step out of those feelings at different times and just observe. To reflect on the things that you felt and observed, and to discern through it all, to be able to decide and extract the value, the lessons, the beauty, for you. And so we're here, y'all. We are here. I am present with whoever is listening. Thank you for being here, genuinely. Thank you for listening. And I trust and I imagine that this is a mutual exchange, and a beautiful co-creation. So genuinely, thank you for being here. Like I said, this is completely unscripted. I just did kind of want to go into, what it took for me to even show up for this first episode. I've been wanting to do YouTube for a long time. I started a while ago, but life has taken me through the motherfucking ringer, y'all. Through the ringer, and I'm sure you guys can relate. I feel like these past 5 years since 2020 have been a whirlwind of change in our world. And I know that it has affected us all in individual ways in our own lives. And so, none of us are exempt. None of us are exempt. And I damn sure was not. So, yeah, it's taken a lot for me to even get to a space where I'm confident to speak. I really had to do a lot of sitting, being still, being with myself to really analyze the way I was showing up on social media when I had platforms, when I was building the platforms that I have. And I used to speak so boldly about a lot of shit. I felt like I almost had this life shit figured out, to be honest. And life humbled me. Life truly humbled me. And I am thankful for that shit because it's important to be able to recognize that you are always learning and you will continuously learn new things or the same things on new levels at different times in life. Like, it's okay. It's a beautiful part of life to continue to have your mind and your perspectives stretched to new spaces, so long as you're grounded in who you are, and in your spirit and with God. Honestly, that's the only thing that will keep you safe when you're in a space of exploration. And in today's day and age, it's kind of hard not to be. We're recognizing that so many things that we thought were true or we thought were real are just not. So, and I'm speaking, I guess, for my generation. I am a millennial. I was born in 1993 to infinity, you feel me? And so I'm sure that people in my generation and younger can relate. I know that the older generations, respectfully, are a little bit less open to having an open mind about things. And we'll save that topic for another day and another time. But I know that a lot of people can relate to me when I say that you really have no choice but to be open to learning, because staying committed to the shit that we've been taught, that we've been programmed with, conditioned with, whatever you want to call it, indoctrinate, whatever, however you want to fucking word it, I don't care. At the end of the day, that's what we've undergone. And a lot of those things, mindsets, narratives, paradigms, are not conducive for our expansion, our growth, our evolution, our healing. There is so much that goes on underneath the present moment. So much has happened to accumulate to where we all are right now. And the present is not separate from the past. We can try as much as we want to act as if the things that we experienced in our past, or the things our parents experienced, or grandparents, or great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents experienced don't affect us. But the truth of the matter is that they do. They actually create us. And yeah, I don't even, look, you guys, be patient with me, please. And I promise I will be patient with you. I promise. Because I don't even know how I got to this point at this point. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Give thanks. Yeah. Life took me through the ringer, y'all. There's so much to unpack, so much to observe about myself, so much to learn about myself, so much to recognize and understand, so much to give grace to, so much to forgive, so much to grow through, so much to love on. There's so much that I went through on an internal level in order to be speaking to you all right now. And I hope that I can translate the value that I've taken in 5 years or so of isolation and share it with y'all. But I would say one of the biggest blockages that prevented me from just starting on YouTube was a lot of self-judgment, a lot of self-criticism. And the funny thing about life is that how you feel about yourself on an internal level within your own world, in your own head, is what you're gonna feel from the world, or what you're gonna be afraid of from the world. And so I always had a fear of judgment. I always had a fear of being perceived in a way that is not accurate to who I am. And I had to let that shit go, because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that only you can fully see yourself in the fullness of which you feel yourself, if that makes sense. I feel like we're always seeking a certain level of understanding or validation from something outside of ourselves, whether it be family members, parents, partners, or whoever. And what I've come to find for myself is that what I was seeking in all of these people, this level of validation is what it is, but that shit is so deep. And what I've come to realize for myself is that I want what I've always wanted was for people to be able to see me the way I see myself. And the truth is that nobody will ever be able to see me the way I see myself, because they don't have that vantage point. They don't have that POV. Only I do. Only I see what I do when I'm by myself. Only I am in my mind when I choose to love somebody in a specific way. You know what I mean? Only I feel the love that I emit when I'm doing certain things for people, or whatever the fucking case. Excuse my language. I had to get over that, and I had to accept that I will be misunderstood, that I won't be seen in my fullness. And that's okay. That is okay, because I'm sure that I'll still be seen for a lot of good. And I'm sure that, people will have their judgments, but I let people have that. That it belongs to them, and I don't take on or internalize others' projections, because I know that it's only a reflection of what they're going through in their own internal space. And so I'm here, despite those fears, I'm here. I feel like another thing that has prevented me for a while from just showing up and sharing myself on YouTube is I didn't really know how to approach it. I feel like with social media, it's such an instinctive thing to just create certain personas, and God, that's another topic for another time. But I never wanted, my spirit won't let me be performative and be able to stay consistent. Like anything that I have ever had to be performative in, I end up falling off because it's not sustainable for me. And I feel like others can relate to that. I feel like when you're in a space of being performative, that shit crashes eventually. I just didn't want to show up and be in a space within myself that I felt like I had to put on, or I felt like I had to be super filtered, or I felt like I had to, change myself in any type of way. I want to show up authentically and real. And as easy and simple as that sounds, it's really not that simple and easy. I mean, it can be, I guess, but It's really not. In my experience, I've had to go through so much refinement to be able to just be myself. Good God. And so, yeah, I feel like that's this next thing could kind of go hand in hand with that. But another thing is, I just never wanted to come on here and project information and give information in a way where it's like 3 steps to becoming the best version of yourself. Like, God, no. I just didn't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I don't feel like life is that linear, I don't feel like, I just don't feel like coming on here and just projecting information, because to me, I don't know, I've done that before. And I learned that I'm human. And I just want to be human. I'm just a girl, okay? Like, I just want to be human. And I want to connect with other humans, and I want to constantly share space with people who are willing to be human, willing to be imperfect, willing to be in process, willing to be whatever, bruh, like who you are, authentic, genuine. Okay, like more of that. And so, yeah, honestly, I probably could go on and on with things that have prevented me from showing up. But I guess that's just to give you guys insight on my journey, which I feel like I will continuously do. But in this present moment, what matters most is that I'm here, and I'm thankful to be here because I finally feel like I'm in a space where I don't have to perform. I don't have fear of being seen. I don't have fear of being heard. I don't have fear of being misperceived. I don't have fear of whatever. Like, I just don't. And that's very profound and significant to me. And so I'm proud of myself. And I think it's so important to pat yourself on the fucking back and mean it. See your growth, even in the small wins. Like, it's worth celebrating. It truly is. And so much of my journey, I was always in comparison with this quote unquote best version of myself, chasing her, seeking her. But the real is that we will fall short of the glory of God every single day. And so as long as I was in a space of comparing myself to a future version of myself, or to this perfect vision that I have of who I could be, which I'm not saying I don't strive for still, I'm just not in a space of comparing myself and beating up on who I am today because I'm not there yet. It's so important to recognize if you do that. It was so important for me to recognize that I did that, because what would happen is I would be in spaces that were worth being proud of. I would be in spaces that were inspirational to others even, and literally not be able to see myself, literally not be able to see my beauty, because I'm not this version of myself that I have in my mind. It's not fully actualized yet. And that's some bullshit. Like, genuinely, that's some bullshit. And if you do that to yourself, I speak and I imagine that you give yourself grace and you give yourself the time to process, and that you appreciate yourself every step of the way because you're doing it. The process is the purpose. What fun is dancing if you're just waiting for the end of the song. Like, that shit does not make sense. This life is about experiencing. This life is about learning. This life is about changing. This life is about adapting. This life is about living. Like, the destination is not the peak. The destination is the end. And so enjoy your process. And I'm speaking to myself, like I said, I don't want to be in a space of like talking at y'all. Everything that I'm saying to myself for real. Like, I really had to learn how to big myself up in my imperfection, in my inconsistency, in my lack of discipline. Like, that's how you push through those things. Because similarly, I don't know if you guys know what Chinese finger cuffs are, but look that shit up. I'm starting to cuss more. I'm getting comfortable. Hold on. Let me chill, because I don't even know what the rules and regulations are on YouTube. I need to look that up. Like, hello. But yeah, big yourself up every step of the way. Because if you're in a constant space of being like judging yourself, like, oh, you're not being consistent, oh, like, you don't help yourself whatsoever. Like I was about to say, the Chinese finger cuffs, if you never heard of that, look it up. But it's essentially this cardboard paper type of thing, and you put your fingers in it on each side, and if you pull apart, your fingers get stuck, and the Chinese finger cuff will grip onto your fingers, and so you won't be able to pull your fingers out. But if you release that pressure just a little bit, then it loosens it up, and then you can get your finger out. And I find that is a quantum lesson that exists on so many different levels and layers and experiences in life. And breaking through consistency and a lot of different things, I feel like really, really depend on you easing up off yourself and giving yourself grace and trusting in who you are, trusting in what you desire, trusting in God's plan for your life, and staying connected to that despite whatever ways that you show up at whatever time. And yeah, so I think I'm just gonna end this first episode here. We're almost at 25 minutes already, and like I said, I just kind of wanted to set the tone for what's to come with this platform. It's really a space where I'm just gonna allow God to flow through me and express whatever needs to be expressed at whatever time, going over whatever topics, whatever. Like I said, we just on the phone. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end this here. This is episode 1, y'all. Woo! Thank you if you have made it this far in the video. Man, I love you. I'm thankful for you. Like, we're in this together, and you're not alone. Feel free to subscribe if you feel inspired to. Feel free to comment down below. I'm definitely, while I can, going to be responding to everybody and building in the comments and everything like that. So I am sending you guys my love, and I trust that you guys will continue to have a beautiful week or day or whatever. Okay. I'm just going to hang up now. All right, y'all. Until next time.